Okay, sounds great. I'm Aslihan. I'm one of the PGY4 residents and the administrative chief resident at MossRehab. I'm gonna start sharing my slides. Hopefully that looks okay. Our program official name is a mouthful. So Jefferson Health Medical Education / Jefferson Einstein Philadelphia Hospital MossRehab PM&R residency program is what you'll find us officially listed as, but we like to go by MossRehab. Oh, okay. It can be confusing. Moss was associated with Temple. Temple MossRehab was a residency program for many years, up until 2 or 3 years ago. We did graduate our first class of MossRehab residents this past summer, and we do still have some Temple residents rotating with us on our inpatient services, but we do not currently rotate through Temple. And the name Jefferson can also be confusing. Jefferson does have its own quote unquote residency program, McGee Rehab. Jefferson Health actually bought Einstein, so we're under the same umbrella. We do a lot of rotations and even share some didactic time together with the McGee residents. MossRehab does have a rich history in rehabilitation medicine. It has been around since the 1900s. Initially began as the Lucian Moss Home for the Incurables of the Jewish Faith, located here at Elkins Park, Pennsylvania. So we're nationally ranked among the best rehab facilities in the U.S. for 30 years by U.S. News and World Report, top ranked rehab hospital in Pennsylvania, and our number of faculty that are national and world leaders in the field of physical medicine and rehabilitation. So our own program, here we have a lot of our residents. We have our PGY3s, PGY2s, and our one of our PGY4s here. We are a tight-knit family. We have fun when we're in clinic, when we're in didactics, and even outside of that. Our program leadership, so up at top here, you'll see our APD, Dr. Barsakowski, and on the bottom is our program director, Dr. Siegel. I'm not going to read this out loud, but our program mission should be available to you on our website. And of course, when you get these slides, basically, our goal is to create physiatrists that are well-rounded and have expertise in their field, and they feel comfortable treating patients of all diagnoses and just have a well-rounded education during their residency experience. This is a list of our faculty. A lot of our faculty, the ones that have asterisks, are actually subspecialty certified. Dr. John is our spinal cord injury medical director. Dr. Barsakowski is our APD and also the medical director of our stroke rehab unit. Dr. Eskenazi is our chief medical officer. A lot of names, I don't want to kind of go through the whole list, but we have a lot of esteemed faculty that we all work through in our both inpatient and outpatient rotations. And most recent faculty. Oh, most recent faculty is Dr. Matthews. He's actually one of our graduates. For our rotation sites, we have actually, this is not the slide with the rotation slide. We, our research sites, sorry about that. We do have the MossRehab Research Institute, which is just a building next door to our main hospital that we rotate at. A lot of good research does go on in there, and the residents are actually involved in research in that facility. We are model systems for TBI, so we do admit a lot of TBI patients. We do a lot of TBI research, and we meet a certain set of standards for taking care of brain injury patients. We do have a gait and motor control analysis lab that's pictured here. It's very unique, state-of-the-art facility that we use with our patients for evaluation of gait, spasticity, and even orthotics. A lot of our patients also have intrathecal medications that they give, and that we are, getting hands-on experience refilling their pumps. We have the MossRehab Institute for Brain Health, which is our outpatient residential facility for veterans and first responders that we get to rotate through as PGY2s and PGY4s. And we do have the largest and most diverse robotic-assisted rehabilitation program in the nation. We have 30 plus different types of devices. Fellowship programs associated with us. We do have an ACGME accredited brain injury medicine fellowship. Our PD, Dr. Siegel, is also the PD for that fellowship. We have a gait and movement evaluation spasticity, orthotics and prosthetics fellowship with Dr. Esquenazi, and an EMG and musculoskeletal medicine fellowship with Dr. Sridhara and Dr. Placeres. Einstein Healthcare Network actually has over 400 residents and 30 programs, 3 campuses, and nearly 6,000 employees. So it's a big facility. And now we're a part of Jefferson Health, which has a 17 hospital system, a medical school, PM&R departments, fellowships, and more opportunities for electives. Our residency program, so my class currently sits at 7 residents, but classes following us will be 8 residents per class. We are an advanced program, but through the Einstein Internal Medicine program, we do have 5 prelim positions available for the PGY 1 year. Our rotation sites, we rotate through MossRehab at Elkins Park. That's our main home. It's a freestanding rehab hospital with internal medicine coverage during the day and at nighttime, but no other kind of some of outpatient offices, but no other inpatient facilities. MossRehab at Tabor Road is our inpatient unit. It's a 20-bed unit that's attached to the main Einstein Philadelphia Hospital. MossRehab in Center City is some of our outpatient offices. We go to Albert Einstein Medical Center in Philadelphia for our consult rotation. We do our PEDS rotation in Children's Hospital of Philadelphia for 2 months as a PGY3. Like I mentioned, we have a month of our brain injury rotation at MossRehab Institute for Brain Health, and we do some elective time at Rothman Orthopedics offices. Our PGY2 rotations are primarily inpatient heavy. We do have stroke rotations, comprehensive rehab rotations, spinal cord injury, mixed rehab unit, 2 months of outpatient, 1 month focusing on neuro rehab, 1 month focusing on sports and spine, and the residential brain injury program at MRIBH. PGY3, we get a little bit more of a mix. We do have our inpatient brain injury unit at our brain injury unit. We do have an inpatient and outpatient mixed amputee rehab program. Again, we do a mixed unit at Einstein Philadelphia at Tabor Road. We do a month of acute care consults, 2 months of EMG, 2 months of pediatric rehab, and 1 month of elective rotation, which we could do either in-house or at other facilities, depending on availability. PGY4 is primarily outpatient. We do neuro rehab, we do residential brain injury, spine and interventional pain, sports and MSK medicine, EMG, chronic pain, acute care consults. We do a month of gait lab and spasticity, as well as elective time. We have 2 months of elective time. Our didactics are every Wednesday from 8 to 12 at the MossRehab Elkins Park campus. High yield topics, the lecturers are faculty from Moss, Jefferson, CHOP, and other guest faculty. It is protected education time, so our attendings cover the pagers. They do write their progress notes, so and after lunch, we just go and round on our patients and catch up and see what's been going on in the morning. We also have a sports and spine lecture series, Tuesdays, 7 to 8 a.m. at Elkins Park, or we're able to join on Zoom. Our didactic lecture series have been recently revamped, and we're working on making it bigger and better every year. We do touch on very board relevant topics such as biomechanics, cancer rehab, cardiopulmonary rehab, EMG, anatomy, general rehab, pain medicine, pediatrics, modalities, and many more topics. Anatomy course, so this is currently going on. We do the anatomy course with the Jefferson McGee residents at Jefferson Center City. It's Wednesdays, 8 to 12 p.m., August through October, where we do cadaver lab for half the time and anatomy lecture by one of the PM&R faculty half the time. There are also citywide training courses hosted by the PM&R residency programs in the area. We host a GATE course ourselves in-house at Elkins Park where other residency programs come in. We also attend the EMG course by Jefferson and the prosthetic course by UPenn. Call coverage, so we have in-house 24-hour call with a post-call day. It's front-loaded during PGY2 year. PGY2s have call from Friday. They only cover call Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays. PGY3s cover call Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, and PGY4 year, you don't have any call. Vacation days, we get 20 days of vacation each year, plus sick days that are separate from our vacation time. Vacation time can be taken out in any chunks. It doesn't have to be a week at a time. We also get CME days for conferences as long as our service is covered and is approved by our program director. We get $1,500 up to twice a year to attend conferences at which we're presenting. We do take duty hour and residency fatigue very seriously. I don't think any of us have broken duty hour requirement or regulations at all. Our PD and APD have an open door policy if we have any concerns. There's a lot of opportunities for wellness and extracurriculars, and every resident's assigned a faculty mentor depending on their interest in PM&R. Some photos of us doing fun wellness things. So we have a yearly residency retreat event. This year we made Turkish lamps. If you can see the photo on the bottom left here. We do socials with other residencies. Up top, you can see when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, a bunch of our residents went out to celebrate. We do a lot of sports and athletics. We went rock climbing, and a lot of the residents actually played pickleball on the weekends. This is our big event. It's an adaptive surfing event called Life Rolls On every summer at Wildwood, New Jersey. The residents, attendings, therapists, and anyone and everyone involved at Moss attends it, and we help our patients get back in the water, get back to surfing, and it's just a blast every year. And this is our therapy dog, Kaya. She's there for the patients, and she's also there for the residents, and she's always happy to receive some pets from us. And that's the end of my slides. I'm gonna check in the chat, and I do have two of my co-residents here, Dr. Keel Gola and Dr. Sharir Ahmed, to help with some of the questions.
I can answer, a little bit and expand on Judith's question. So the residential brain injury program is a outpatient program, is a intensive outpatient program for individuals who are first responders that have suffered any form of brain injury. So these include firefighters, police force, and anyone from the armed services. They undergo a comprehensive evaluation by a physician. You are part of that evaluation with one of our brain injury board certified physicians. It's a very thorough exam. It's a 1 hour evaluation where we look at every single sequelae of brain injuries throughout their whole life, some of the impairments that they're experiencing. They also get evaluated by physical therapy and occupational therapy with initial evaluations that are each 1 hour. And then they're essentially, they stay at this residential kind of suite, and they participate over the course of 3 weeks in various physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, and behavior psychology, whatever they need, as well as group sessions, talk sessions.
I can talk about some of the questions as well. So, for example, the PEDS rehab rotation. So, our PEDS rehab rotation is at the CHOP Center in West Philly. It's a pretty big hospital. It's 2 months. You do a month of inpatient or consults. It depends on what schedule you get. I got a consult month, and it's basically an exposure to kind of inpatient medicine and how PM&R can be involved in it in a pediatric setting. Specifically, the things that you saw, the consult attending is known for neuro-oncology. So he more manages the oncology patients for their pain, their agitation, but also you'll see a mix of brain injury patients, CP patients. Then the next month is an outpatient month where you'll be dealing with spasticity and mainly CP and spinal bifida clinics, and smattering of rheumatology here and there for the CHOP month.
Yeah, to go off on that, you do see all the bread and butter PEDS diagnoses, but you also see the rare diseases because CHOP is a big, pediatric hospital. So you'll see stuff that you won't ever see again in your career, probably. And I can talk about the research question. We do not have a formal research track, but residents are encouraged to do research. We have a lot of attendings that participate in research that offer us, to help out with their research projects, or if we want to get more involved at the MossRehab Research Institute, there's, PhDs that actually work on, fundamental research for our brain injury, primarily brain injury, but also other rehabilitation diagnoses. And you can get involved in that. To get protected research time, I know a couple of us have done a research elective during our PGY 3 year, as long as you're able to produce some sort of product at the end of that month, whether that be an abstract or a case series or what have you, you are able to get elective time. You just have to make sure you're using that productively, and that's how you would get protected research time. Okay, I don't want to miss questions. I'm going to scroll back up. What do you think differentiates Moss from the other Philly programs?
So I can answer that, Asahan. So I went to school around Philadelphia, so I wanted to stay here specifically. One of the reasons I bring to Moss specifically was because of the brain injury program. I was really interested in going to brain injury at that time. I knew if I went to a place that had a very established brain injury fellowship with it, I'd probably get much more training. And I do think the inpatient months that we did brain injury definitely helped me think that I don't need a fellowship to practice it. The other thing I think is very special at Moss is the robotics, as Asmahan was saying beforehand. We do have a lot of technology that's utilized for our patients. Makes me feel as if I or my parents got sick, I'd send my parents over there to get their rehab. And then the other thing is our ability to do amputee and have a whole specific amputee floor, which is very rare in inpatient rehab. It's a very interesting rotation where you split the service with another resident and you do inpatient and outpatient at the same time, kind of like when you're in attending. And it's like I said, it's very rare for patients who have amputees to come inpatient to do inpatient training, and it's becoming rare because of insurance. So this is one of the few places and residency programs that you can get exposure to that, especially in Philadelphia.
From my perspective, the brain injury service at Moss is very unique. We have a disorders of consciousness program. I think between us and Penn, we're the only two institutions in the area that offer that kind of exposure. So you get to see a whole spectrum of brain injury pathology from very, very severe to more mild conditions. I think that we have probably the strongest inpatient service in the area. Like Dr. Gola mentioned already, I'm not going to be going into a fellowship because I feel very confident about my training and my ability to do inpatient medicine, inpatient rehab medicine after I graduate. I think we have a very robust spasticity exposure. We have one of our docs who not only does chemodenigration but also baclofen. And yeah, I think that we get a very robust training. So I think those are a couple of things that make our program unique. I'll answer one of the other questions, cost of living and things like that. So I think it all depends from where you're coming from. I came from New York, so cost of living is substantially better here in Philadelphia than it is in New York. And I think somebody asked a question about minimum scores for step two. I don't think we have any minimum scores, and maybe Aslihan can answer something about this J1 visa.
I don't believe we support the visas, but if you email the chief emails, I'll find out more about that and get back to you. And the internal medicine program interviews for the PGY1 positions. Are we running low on time?
Yes, you'll have about a minute left.
Gotcha. I will answer some of the questions just in the chat, and I did put our chief email in the chat as well if you guys have more questions. Sharir and Nikhil, if you want to answer some of the questions for the minute that we have left.
Just got one question about the gait movement. One benefit that Moss also has is we have a gait lab where we can, put patients through like a virtual simulator of their movement and then measure different like velocities and different like angles. And that's an interesting experience. We kind of do it with spasticity.
Alrighty. You guys have a few more seconds left. Don't know if you want to. There's one last question that came in asking about slows. Go ahead.
I am not really sure about the slows, but we do favor signals. At this point, if we're not signaled, we're not interviewing. We're trying to be very intentional about who we interview. So we do look at the signals and send our interviews out to the applicants that are sending our signals.
Alrighty. Well, thank you guys so much.